Hi there, my name's Avi and today's PowerPoint is all about imagery. So, what is imagery? Imagery simply is a picture that is created in one's head based around sensory details. One fairly easy example of imagery are waves crashing on the beach. Based around either past self-experiences, whether at a beach or not, imagery creates a picture in a person's head. So if I say a basketball player shooting a slam dunk, what are you thinking of now? That's imagery. The next topic we will be talking about are analogies. An analogy is a comparison that is made between two things that have similar features. An example of this is feet being compared to tires. Both move the body or car, making it a good analogy of one another. As you can guess from the slide question, we're going to be talking about metaphors now. A metaphor is a device used to compare two things that have no relation to each other, but are compared nonetheless. An example of a metaphor is, this pillow is a rock. The pillow isn't literally a rock, but is being compared to it because of its similarity to one of rock's traits, hardness. Much like metaphors, similes are our next topic. A simile is similar to a metaphor, except it uses the terms like or as in the comparison. In the comparison between students and a hot pan, the students weren't literally on a hot pan or a hot pan itself, but it just shows how anxious they are. Now I'm going to teach you about personification. Now it sounds like a very complex term, people, but it really is actually very, very simple. Personification is giving what is normally a human trait to an inanimate object. So great examples of this are the talking animals in Animal Farm by George Orwell, which is a great book, or the animals of Aesop's fables. Personification is used, especially in literary works, as a way to teach a moral or show an idea without it constantly having to be a human being that does it. I mean, come on, aren't us human beings kind of boring? Apostrophe is next. An apostrophe is basically when you give an inanimate object animation. It's different from personification, as apostrophes only give objects animation and not human characteristics. The examples of the pipes are calling clearly said that the pipes were calling as a person would call another person. However, pipes can't call out to people, and the author uses an apostrophe to express that Danny was in love with the pipe, and it was his passion to play it. One literary device used a lot of times are allusions. An allusion is a method used by authors to describe nouns. This device requires a noun to be represented by another noun that is known for its desired characteristics. In the example of Barack Obama's speech, Obama was mentioning Krypton, where Superman was born, to identify Superman as the illusion. Superman is a brave person who puts his feelings and weaknesses aside to save the world, and that is what President Obama wanted people to see in him, and therefore it's an excellent, excellent illusion. Allegory is the word. What an allegory is a metaphor used to present a moral or set of principles. Some common forms of allegories are fables and parables. An example of an allegory is the famous lion Aslan from the Chronicles of Narnia, who comes out of nowhere and saves the day. Yay, Aslan! The author of the Chronicles, C.S. Lewis, based the characteristics of Aslan around the Roman Catholic Bible and their teachings. Conceit. What is conceit? What conceit means is a piece of work using metaphorical ideas to set an overall tone throughout the piece. Nothing says conceit to me than Macbeth's famous soliloquy. Shakespeare uses the ideal metaphor of life being a walking shadow to set the tone for the rest of the stanza. That is conceit. Symbolism. Symbolism is the usage of a noun, usually objects and animals, to express an idea or emotion to the audience. This method is used to help the reader understand a complex idea better by putting it in easier, understandable terms. In the Tears of Sadness example, the teardrops of people are supposed to represent a feeling of sadness. It may physically be a tear, but what it represents is the emotion of sadness. This next word denotation sounds like a difficult word, but is actually very, very simple, just like personification. Denotation is the literal meaning of a word. That's pretty much it. So when you want to find the denotative meaning for the word cup, the place to look is in the dictionary. A cup has no special meaning in this case and is just a plain old cup. Unlike denotations, which are the literal meaning of words, connotations are what the word or phrase represent. The example used is the famous quote, "Are you a man or are you a mouse?" Connotation use symbolism in order to convey an idea. In this case, are you scared like a mouse or are you brave like a man? Now for one of the most used literary devices, theme. The theme of literature is an emotion or idea that is the base of an entire literary work. The theme can be expressed through diction and jargon, but mostly through sensory details. In the example of Amy at the beach, it was obvious to see that Amy was in a peaceful environment and was therefore peaceful herself. If this was a short essay, and examples like this were constantly used, the theme of the piece would obviously be peaceful. Congratulations, you guys. You guys basically know everything there is you need to know about imagery. If you missed a note or two, please feel free to rewind the tutorial. If not, then bye. Have a nice day.